I, 28, was with my ex-husband for about 6 years. During this time, we were trying for a baby but had no success. About 4 years into our marriage had a rough patch. My ex had stress at work and slept with his coworker to relieve it. He confessed to me rather quick, and a week later, they sat me down and told me they were expecting a child. I was an idiot back then, and so I felt like I should forgive him because I truly believed he loved me and I thought I had no one. It wasn't. My ex's family treated me like their own, but my ex's supposed daughter was the apple of their eye. As a result of that, my ex's coworker was frequent presence in our lives. They felt like they had to include the mom of their grandchild for everything too, and she made her way in every family picture and memory. It didn't help that I suspected that the coworker had feelings for my ex and flirted with him when she can. People thought that she was my ex's wife constantly, and I finally had enough when during the baby girl's first birthday party, when I was told to take a picture of my ex, his mistress, his daughter, and his parents, and it didn't include me. It hit me that I was now treated as the other woman, and I realized that I deserved more than this bullcrap. I filed for divorce a few months later and left. It was the hardest time of my life, but I ended up getting a promotion at work and met this sweet, wonderful guy. Fast forward to now, me and my boyfriend are madly in love, and I gave birth to an adorable baby girl that I considered a miracle baby. I got pregnant with my boyfriend like 3 months after dating him, and I thought that it was strange that this could happen since my previous failed attempts with ex, and had thought that I was the infertile one. It crossed my mind then that maybe he was the infertile one and he only believed mistress was pregnant with his child because they were having an affair. I didn't say anything though, because it was not my place anymore. However, my boyfriend was so happy about my daughter's birth and posted it on Facebook and tagged me in the post. I was still friends with my ex Sil on FB, and she saw the post. She called me up and said that she was hurt that I didn't let her know that I could actually get pregnant, and the lack of child during my first marriage could be my ex's fault. He took a paternity test. The poor baby girl was never my ex's. The coworker apparently was dating this terrible guy during the time she slept with my ex and didn't know who the child's father was, so she just strung my ex along cause she had feelings for him and thought he'd be the best father for her child. Now my ex blames me for not telling him that I was pregnant way before and am having to father this girl. He's doing pretty bad now, and I can't help but feel guilty, like I should have told him. Not the idiot. Nothing about this situation is your fault. Not a damn thing. Not the cheating, not the hey integrate my love child into our life and let my mistress take your place stuff, not your long awaited pregnancy and miracle baby, congrats, not his reaction to finding out he exploded a bomb in his own life with a series of crappy decisions. None of it. You cuddle that baby, enjoy having a good man in your life, and let him pick up the pieces of his poor life choices guilt-free. Not the idiot. After all of the pain he and his family caused you, you don't owe him anything. They clearly had no problem bringing his affair partner into the family with little if any regard for you, his actual wife at the time, and your feelings. Ultimately, this is not your problem. He wanted to believe that the child was his, which is why he never sought out a paternity test in the first place, and he wanted to play happy families with his child's mother, and tore his real marriage apart in the process. He slept with someone else while married to you and took her at her word that the baby was his. Then they rubbed your face in it. The family was cruel to include the mother at family functions, especially in pushing you to the side. I'd tell the ex-Sil and your ex-husband that it's real rich of them to admonish you for not concerning yourself with his well-being after treating you like a second-hand citizen this whole time. They are completely clueless. Little update, so here's what's been happening right now. I haven't spoken to them after this and have been avoiding my ex's calls. He texted me saying that he is sorry and overreacted and felt guilty about prioritizing people who were never really family over me. I only replied with asking how his daughter is, because even though she isn't biologically his, she's still his girl. She seems like an adorable kiddo and adores her dad. My ex's mistress is able to support the girl financially, so my ex won't contribute to that, but he says that he's still going to see her every month because he feels morally obligated to. I feel bad for the girl so much because she seems to have lost her family unit, dad, grandparents, cousins. Background here. I am a 16-year-old born with China parents and a China-born sister who is 23 now. My parents migrated overseas to where we live now with my sister and had me, completely born in an English-speaking environment. I can speak Mandarin, but usually only at home, and I study in a school with English as first language. We went to my father's hometown in Sichuan, Chengdu last month, and welcomed by our grandparents who threw a big reunion party with my uncles, aunts and cousins, about 20 plus people. They speak in Sichuan dialect as their mother tongue, but are able to understand and speak Mandarin too. While my parents, obviously, and sister, able to understand but can only speak Mandarin, are comfortable with it, I have trouble understanding the dialect. I tried to ask an uncle speaking to me to speak Mandarin, but was responded with laughter. The other relatives also seemed to enjoy my confusion. That uncle, using Mandarin, told me that I am a banana who has forgotten her roots before turning back to dialect. My parents told me not to act selfishly and expect everyone to change for me. It was awkward and frustrating to be the only one in a house of strangers, yups, relatives but strangers, who had no idea what others were saying. Since they were comfortable, I figured I might as well as make myself comfortable too. When an aunt came to speak to me again, I responded in English, this time enjoying her confused face. Even though I had no idea what they were talking about, I spoke English throughout the rest of the party. I had an earful from my parents after that. They said that I was disrespectful and a walking form of embarrassment, and because of me they got scolded from my grandparents for teaching me to behave this way. My sister secretly supported me though, saying they had what was coming for teasing me like that. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Them giving you crap because you were born elsewhere and can't speak the dialect of the rest of your family is a load of crap. You don't control what language you speak. You're 16, you're a kid. If they want to play the blame game, the blame should rest at the feet of your parents, who neglected to teach you. They are where you get your cultural heritage from. Not the idiot. I'm a banana too. I used to be able to speak Thai reasonably well. Well enough to speak to my relatives that I visit every few years. Now that I've moved out, I've forgotten most of it. I can still understand a fair bit, but I usually respond in English. If your parents wanted you to understand, they would have taught you. It's not fair to blame you. I do feel guilty I've forgotten most of my ancestors' language. I want to learn it again, but I'm a bit scared and feel like I don't have the time. In American culture, not the idiot, you're respected as an individual despite your age and your place in the family heredity. In Chinese culture you are the idiot, because respect goes with age and heredity in the family, and as a young child you're expected to act with certain level of deference toward your elders. So in the situation where your uncle laughed at you, culturally you're expected to take it and accept it being the butt of the joke, hence your parents telling you you're being selfish when you get upset. My boyfriend and I'm female if that matters, have been together 1 year. We live 40 minutes apart. When we spend nights together, up until last week, 5 to 6 nights a week, we spend them at his place because he has dogs and it's a closer commute to work for both of us. His commute is 5 minutes, mine is 10. 3 weeks ago I switched jobs and now we both start work at 7 a.m. I can really walk in around 7:15 though. It used to be 8:30. I'm quick getting ready so I can be out the door in 20-30 minutes. This means I'd ideally wake up and shower at 6. My boyfriend though, wakes up at 5:40 and doesn't get out of the bathroom until 6:20. Every single day. That's fine. Not even an issue, still time for me to shower and get to work. Except, for whatever reason, and I will never be able to understand this, he doesn't shower until 6. Ever. Never ever. But he turns the freaking water on at 5:40 when he goes in the bathroom and lets it freaking run until 6 a.m. He uses the time to trim his beard, every freaking day, go pee, wake up, check his phone, whatever. Which not only is a tremendous waste of money and a freaking strain on the environment, but it means that my showers are ice cold. I've complained a billion times. He says that it's his routine and he's been doing it since way before he met me. He basically said that if I don't like it, wake up and take a shower before him. Which would mean waking up a full hour earlier than necessary considering there is plenty of time to get ready after him. I complained about it for 2 weeks, then woke up 1 week ago today and checked for hot water and it made me so mad that he'd done it again that I told him that I'll no longer be spending the weekdays with him because I'm not going to continue to inconvenience myself and start every morning off of a bad note with an ice cold shower over something that could easily be fixed. I offered to spend Friday and Saturday evenings with him, but have made it clear I'm going home every Sunday afternoon. For a week I've stuck to this. He texted me this morning telling me that he's looking forward to seeing me today, but that he thinks I'm being very overdramatic about the situation and need to get over it before I ruin our relationship over something so stupid. So he thinks it's my fault. I plan to spend tonight and tomorrow with him and go home on Sunday just like I did this week. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I'd consider this a red flag. Not only because he is wasting so much water and money for his water bills, but the fact that he refuses to compromise at all, expecting you to work around his habits, and then when you do, just not in the way he expected you to, he blames you for ruining the relationship. Your boyfriend is being utterly idiotic over this routine, and it's definitely not you being weird over something so stupid as he says. What's stupid is what he's doing, not your issue with it. Does the water need to be run for 20 minutes to heat up or something? If not, and he can get in when he wakes up, then he's a really huge idiot here. And yes, it's a waste of water and energy and money. He knows this and he doesn't care. He's an idiot for sure. I'd be reconsidering this whole relationship, if he can't even be bothered to just not have the water on for 40 minutes for you. It's not even an inconvenience, he's doing nothing with the water. If he won't budge for this tiny little thing so you can be more comfortable, how much does he really even care about you? Who doesn't care that their partner has to have an ice cold shower because of their behavior? I am 24 and I have a friend who is 21. She is really nice and we've known each other for a year. She is my sister's acquaintance and we met at my sister's birthday party. I have a crush on her, although she isn't exactly my type. Lately I feel like I've been getting vibes that she likes me back. Last week I won a raffle and have 2 tickets to see a famous singer perform next month in a nearby city. She also happens to like this singer, so I asked her if she wanted to go with me as a date. I said I can book us a hotel room and we can spend the night together. She said she'd love to go, but only as friends. She says she's alright with us splitting a hotel room as long as it has 2 beds. She told me she doesn't feel ready to date anyone at the moment, and she doesn't do flings either, so unfortunately we can only be platonic friends. I said I'll think about it. I was quite hurt because honestly I don't have much experience with rejection, and I was annoyed that she turned me down. Today, I asked my female coworker to go with me to the concert as a date. She immediately said yes and seemed quite excited about it, although she admitted that she never listened to any of their songs. Still, I'm taking her out for drinks on Friday. But just now, the friend who I asked originally asked if we were still on for the concert. I told her honestly that I already asked another woman, and she seemed disappointed but dropped the subject. When I told my sister about what happened, she said I'm being really douchey. She says her friend is a huge fan of the singer and I should take her instead of my coworker who doesn't even like the band but only wants to go because she likes me. I said she can't understand because she's not a dude. Because let's be honest, if I had the choice between going out with a girl who only wants to be my friend versus a girl who is super into me and wants to take things to the next level, then obviously I'm taking the second one. Am I the idiot for just being honest about what I want? For some reason when I read the title I was thinking OP gave his own ticket to another girl to go with a friend. Boy was I surprised when I read on. I think this is a combo. OP is not obligated to take the friend, but just the way he talks about women kinda irks me. No idiots here in this situation, but thinking maybe is the idiot in life sometimes. You're the idiot. Apparently your definition of a date means having love. If you had just asked her to go as a date without the whole, we can spend the night together, crap, I would be going with not the idiot. It's no longer you asking her on a date at that point, it's you asking her to come make love to you. I refuse to believe that you're so dense that you don't know what telling someone to spend the night together means. You are the idiot. First off, saying it must be a date, with a shared bed at the end of the night is pervy AF. I wouldn't be surprised if her side of the story is I like this guy, but didn't want there to be pressure of sleeping together at the end of the night, so I said let's go as friends. So instead he found some girl who would go off and sleep with him for a concert ticket. They are your tickets, and you can do with them as you want, but being like if it isn't a date we share a bed with, then no is a huge idiot move. I've been married to my current wife for 3 years. We dated for 2 years before getting married. Before meeting my current wife I had been married to my high school sweetheart for well over a decade. My late wife passed away very young from breast cancer. It was an extremely traumatic experience for me, and I didn't start dating again for several years after the fact. I never had any real relationships before her, parents were both physically abusive, siblings absent, so it was especially hard on me. I've always had a memento from my previous marriage. It was a greenstone/Paunamu Toki pendant. She gave it to me for our first wedding anniversary. Before meeting my current wife I would wear it almost 24/7, going through several strings. When I met my current wife she wasn't comfortable with me wearing it since it was from my late wife. So I started wearing it less often but made it clear to her it's an extremely important item to me. For a time she accepted that until recently. Over the past few months whenever we had a minor disagreement, she'd bring up my pendant and then turn it into a shouting match demanding I get rid of it. I can understand why she might feel uncomfortable with me having it, but I had stopped wearing it at this point. It stays in my drawer 24/7. Why can't she accept it's very important to me? Long story short, when I was at work last week she grabbed the pendant and threw it in a nearby river. When I found out I broke down because it was literally the last thing I had to remember my late wife. I don't know. Maybe I am not respecting her feelings and holding on to the past. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your wife doesn't seem to understand the difference between marrying a widower and marrying someone with an ex. It's normal to still feel sentimental about someone you loved who died, and your wife should respect that. It's not like you were forcing her to sit through a weekly slideshow of your best memories with your former wife, you were just quietly remembering someone you loved. What she did was extremely disrespectful of your feelings, and you are not overreacting. She wants to erase your past. This is such pathological controlling behavior. But is there something you're not telling? Because honestly, if what you've told is the whole story, then not only is your wife an idiot, but so are all your friends and family for saying you're in the wrong here. My good friend's first wife died after they were married for 24 years. He remarried a couple of years later to an awful woman who wouldn't let him speak of her, let alone have any mementos. They divorced and he is now with a wonderful woman who said, "I don't mind if you put up pictures of your first wife, she was an important part of your life." They have a happy and healthy relationship.